Shaped saddles with different kinds of cutouts, we can actually measure the difference in blood flow. Now, we usually do this in the laboratory. It's specialized. We do it in the morning before anybody eats. The temperature's got to be controlled. There's a whole bunch of things that have to happen. But we don't have time to do that here, but what we're going to do is show you how the test works. Stewart is a stud, and he proved that this morning. Yeah, just like Matt. I got to say that these two guys had the highest baseline blood flow that we've ever measured anywhere in the world. And yeah.
That's right.
Good work. When we measured Matt, and he said, "Excuse me, you mind if I use the phone?" And he takes his phone and he calls his girlfriend. He goes, "I got the highest penile blood flow in the world. I'll be home in 12 hours." All right, so we need a volunteer to just read these numbers. So you can see that his oxygen measure is 64. And Gabe will time it. He's going to get on a competitor saddle now, and we'll see what happens to him over the next 2 or 3 minutes.
So if you ever start a new job, guys, they give you that paperwork with lots of writing on it, lots of typing, and you figure, no, I don't need to read it. I'll sign the bottom, read it. Yeah?
It's going
I didn't
down.
see this bit. It's in the fine print, Gabe told me later.
It's gone down to 53 already.
10 seconds.
In 10 seconds. Down 50.
Now imagine that this guy's worked for Specialized for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's now presenting for the first time, and he has a wire attached to his feet.
45.
This
Living
is
the dream.
commitment we
Living the
expect from
dream.
all of you guys.
Down to 40.
Who writes a physique area on here?
38.
30 seconds.
The guy
I just got a chicane though. I just got a
I
chicane.
can guarantee those saddles are going to go up for sale in about 30 minutes.
35 to 34. 33. 32.
I may fall off the bike if it keeps going.
50 seconds.
Down to 26 now. 24.
Now we've done this test up to an hour. So at about 2 minutes or so, or 3 minutes, you stabilize out and it stays the same.
It's fun.
Unless you get out of the saddle. If you get out of the saddle, you get your blood flow back, but then as soon as you sit back down, it will come down to this baseline again.
1 minute 10.
Down to 20. 19.
You cannot feel when you lose 100% of your blood flow. So if you're numb when you ride, you know that you've got compression on the nerves. But if you're not numb, you're not protected. If you're not numb, you can still lose all your blood flow. You cannot feel this.
Okay, 1 minute 20. It's stabilizing at 20. And it started at 62, so we're at 30% blood flow. 33% blood flow after a minute and a half.
All right, so he's already lost 2/3 of his blood flow. Usually on the Arione saddle, we expect that they're going to lose 90%.
What does this tell us about permanent damage?
Nobody really knows exactly how many people would get permanent damage. But what we do understand from summer in Germany is that you want to ride at a level above 50%. So our standard, Nick and my standard for BG saddles is 50% blood flow. If it doesn't pass that, it doesn't pass. But if you have less than that, the theory is that chemicals build up, create scar tissue in your penis.
10.
9.
But
Dan, if I fall off you,
the most important thing is that this man is still smiling,
5.
and he's got no blood flow.
5.
Now everybody's different, so if we measure all of you, you have all different baselines.
We've lost 85% in 3 minutes.
Okay. Does anybody want to see him suffer anymore, or should we?
Yeah.
You do.
I bet a bit of
This
this.
is Australia.
Stay like that for a
Okay,
minute.
you want him to go below 0.
Can we do that? What is he?
Roger, is there a difference when you're on the drops and when you're on the top of that?
Yes, there is. And so
That's
in the
right.
beginning, when we started 15 years ago, the saddle was level with the top of the handlebar, and at that point we were trying to get 50% blood flow. As we got better, we got down to 8 centimeters and even 16 centimeters on some tests. We still got 50%. All right. Let's let the man have a rest. He's got to get his blood flow back for the second saddle.
Can you take this thing up? It's horrendous.
What did it get to?
0.
Zero.
Zero.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know we haven't done this before, but what are the chances of getting Dan to test this after this instead of going to dinner?
And so, well, I think there's somebody in this room right after us.
Are there?
Yeah. So unfortunately, Dan, I'm really sorry that we might not have the time.
Okay, this saddle is at exactly the same place on the rails. We did the measurement. The measurements are at exactly the same. It's the same level and the same height.
Now, what's his?
54.
54. Okay, so we're going to wait for him to get to about. He'll probably go up to about 70 on baseline, and then we'll put him on. And usually on our tests, on our saddles, we get about 80%. But things can change, as I said, different times of the day. Even when Nick did the test once in LA, we put him under an air conditioner vent.
That was embarrassing.
That was really embarrassing because he lost all his blood flow from the air conditioner vent. And so the test is complicated, and it takes a lot of practice to get used to how to do it and how to understand what the readings are. What's his?
61 now.
61? Go ahead. Show him how it's done. When we came here a couple of years ago, I can't remember when that was, Matt, but we had a guy, a male model, that was going to do this, and that guy had no blood flow. And Matt said, well, shit, I'll do it, man. Matt gets on there, his baseline's 120. And nothing could hurt his blood flow.
Now, Roger, can I just say something?
Yes.
At about 3:30, I was in the foyer there drinking about 6 glasses of cold water with Matt. Is there something in there?
There might be. We had a guy in China. We tested the guy, and the guy had good blood flow on the saddle. It was perfect. Next day, the guy came in, and the press was coming in. His blood flow was shit. It was like 20. And I said, what'd you have for breakfast? He said, I had 6 pork buns. And so every bit of his penile blood flow was in his pork bun.
1 minute.
There's something in there.
Yes. Here's a story about Gabe Sullins. Okay, you guys want to hear this? Gabe Sullins has balls, right? Nothing bothers him. So he says, come to Taiwan. We got testers. Measure our testers. They'll do anything you want. It'll be fine. The press is going to be here in 15 minutes. First tester is this guy that looks like he's 12, but he's like 23. And he was not circumcised, so I had to retract his foreskin and put the ring on his penis. His eyes rolled in the back of his head. He passed out cold.
Roger's holding his penis and he falls down.
He's that cold in the rack where they're washing the ice. And the press is going to be there in 10 minutes. And I said, hey, Gabe, you remember that you said there would be no problem? Well, your man is in the rack. And I'm trying to figure out if we should call the paramedics.
Oh, no. God.
So 42 now.
And what did he start
2
at?
minutes.
62.
All right, so you can see he's lost a third of his blood. Yeah, a third of his blood flow. So we always require 50%, and we almost always get that. It's incredible that
A quarter of his blood flow.
Okay, it's incredible that Stewart can do this, but he's a motivated, specialized employee.
We signed the contract.
We had a guy outside magazine in Germany. He said, I got to be the tester, I'm writing the article, and there were about 20 of us there, and the guy had performance anxiety, okay? Performance anxiety. The women know what I'm talking about. This guy, standing next to the bike, had a millimeter of mercury of 3 before he got on the bike. And he could not get any blood flow. So Frank Summers said, get out of the room, let's put some hot packs on his balls, let's do anything to try and get some blood flow. And that guy could not get any result on that test. So it takes somebody with a personality actually like Stewart's, and our other testers have had that too. They have to be outgoing. They cannot be embarrassed by having something attached to their penis in front of strangers.
True.
Good. You are the man. What's this thing now?
It's reading 46, 45, 46.
46. What percentage did you lose? 15 or so, right?
About 20-22%.
22%, okay. You're good. Let's get you off of that so that Nick can put you on the pressure mat.